Hey guys, good evening. This is Dave with Moniology. Hope everyone is having a great day. Today is October 23rd, 2017, and we're going to do a precious metal sector review. Overall, what we're seeing in the precious metal space is that the metals are starting to bottom. We take a look at weekly perspectives to give us to help us understand the markets and remove some of the noise that is seen in the short term volatility. But looking through the various different individual stocks, there's a tremendous amount of weakness. Even some of the better names that we've followed over the last couple of years are starting to show weakness, which is not a good sign. If you're a contrarian and you like value, these are great opportunities to be buying and initiating adding to positions as well. But we're going to look at some of the charts in the sector to try to give us a better perspective on what's going on. But bottom line is, we think that we are in a corrective pattern in the middle of a larger bull market that started in 2016, which is part of a even larger bull market, secular bull market that's been going on since basically 2000. We had a bear market since 2011. We broke out of that in 2016, and now we're in basically a corrective consolidation patterns. But a lot of opportunities abound, so make sure to keep your watch list ready, and let's take a look at what we've got in the precious metal space. So starting off, I wanted to just briefly look at the daily charts here of GLD. This is brought to you by FinViz. It's a great website for those of you who are not familiar with it. You just type in the ticker over here, and they provide you some automatic, just basically very simple charts on a daily time frame. What you see here is that we are in an uptrend since basically in April or March rather, and now we're finally bounced off this bottom support trend line here, and so we think that we're going to start rallying back up. And again, we're not only basing our observation on simple FinViz charts, but this is certainly yields credence to our perspective. Silver, similar type of situation. You kind of got an inverse head and shoulders here, and it's again finding support here on this trend line, and wouldn't be surprised to see the beginning of the resumption of this rally. Platinum, same thing, trend line support. We had a nice move up today, and no coincidence. As a result, we're likely going to make a fairly nice move in platinum. So taking a look at the gold contract, these are gold futures weekly charts since basically middle of 2012. And while we've been in this corrective pattern since the high of 1362.40, we are right above that middle Bollinger Band, and that's a very important support line. And we think that's going to hold. It might break it on an intraday level, but also below that you've got the 50 EMA and the 200 weekly EMA around that 1261 and 1265 level. So there's a tremendous amount of support there. The 50 weekly EMA is now above the 200, which is a very bullish crossover. And so we think that we are at the very, very tail end of this correction. It might take a couple more weeks. There might be a few more shakeouts, but we think that the probability of breaking 1400 is ever increasing, and we believe that we're going to hit 1400 at some point this year. So platinum. Platinum has been our favorite, yet our most beaten up miner or metal. And why it's been our favorite is because there's just tremendous value relative to historical precedent, where platinum is typically traded at 1.5 times to gold, and over the last 3 to 4 years, it's been at a basically $200 to $300 relative to gold. It's undervalued. So in any event, this is the ratio. This is platinum right here. We broke out of this downtrend here in basically in July of 2017. We've kind of retested it from the upside so far successfully. We think that this is a very, very constructive, positive bottoming action, and we're finding some divergence here on the RSI, and we think that platinum might actually start leading us higher very soon. Some of the names in the platinum space, whether it's Impala or Anglo or even some of the penny miners like PLG and Sibanye, they're starting to show some signs of life, much better than any gold miners that we're really taking a look at. So platinum, keep an eye on this particular metal. Gold Bugs Index HUI. This is the major index for the gold miners, and what we're seeing here is that we're in this corrective pattern, and wouldn't be surprised if gold continues to underperform, that ultimately we retest this level around that 178 zone. Would like to see this take out this 200 again from the downside. That would confirm that we're going to be moving higher rather than retesting this trend line. But right now, RSI is below the 50 on the weekly on the weekly, and so that's not a positive development. Although, you know, we kind of drew this trend line. It's kind of weak trend line here, but nonetheless, it's possible that this support does hold and we move higher here. So keep an eye out on HUI. The gold miners versus gold. You want to see gold miners outperform gold if we are in a bullish phase of this of any particular market. And what we saw here in July is that, or August, is that gold miners started outperforming gold for several months. Now it's been consolidating above this downtrend, which it broke out from, and this is very positive constructive action. However, right now we're still very weak, and so it might take a couple more weeks, if not months, to see the gold miners start outperforming gold. But you want to see this index break up, or this ratio chart break back above the 50 on the weekly RSI to confirm that the bull market is not only still intact but has resumed. Junior miners versus majors. You want to see the juniors outperform the majors, and so far they really haven't in 2017. Basically been flat, and right now they've been showing some weakness. Look, we broke below the 38 level, very important 38 level on the RSI, and unless that can be recaptured very soon, don't expect to see strength in the junior miners. Silver versus gold. You want to see silver outperform gold if the market is going, if the precious metals market is showing signs of strength. And actually, this is one of the more bullish charts in this particular video, where you're seeing, although silver and gold have been basically flat, what you are seeing is this very nice upward moving momentum of silver relative to gold. We've shown in previous videos that silver stocks have actually held up fairly well in this recent phase of this correction, and no surprise, because silver is actually starting to show some internal signs of strength. So we like this. This is kind of adds credence to why we believe that we're at the very tail end of this correction. Again, looking from a weekly perspective, that could be weeks, but nonetheless something to consider. Now the dollar, we've been very bearish on the dollar up until September, basically, where we thought that there could be a very nice bounce in the dollar. Ultimately, from a monthly perspective, we think that the dollar is going to roll over, head back lower towards what's on this particular chart would be around 2250, possibly as low as 2150. This is the UUP ETF that tracks the dollar. Bottom line is there might be a little bit more upside if we break above the 200 EMA here at the 2450 level. We might retest either this downtrend line, possibly as high as this downtrend line. But ultimately, I think this rolls over, and this will probably mark the resumption of the precious metals bull market. Now, a couple of miners that just wanted to point out, many of these miners have been beaten down. Others have been acting very strong. But I'm seeing amongst my list of hundreds of miners, these are some miners that are showing some interesting developments. First of all, Ascano Gold, obviously it's been killed here from 4 all the way down to 77.50, but it's kind of had this kind of V-shaped bottom. Now it's flagging here around that dollar level where it's finding support. The MACDs are now at certainly 12-month highs, and that's a very positive development. RSI is showing some stair-step kind of pattern here that's building some momentum. So long as it can hold above that 30 level, you want to see this move above the middle Bollinger Band around 117, and that will likely confirm that something's changing within this company, and the possibility that this downtrend being over is confirmed. Banro Core, BAA. This is one that we pointed out for a while since that very nice hammer candle over here. When we broke out of this downtrend, we've consolidated very nicely above this pattern, and now we're finding support around that 34 to 36 level. Very important that that support holds, but why we started picking up on this particular name miner is it started showing that positive MACD move towards crossover above zero. Now finally broke above that, and as typically happens, and I kind of warned this, that once you break above zero, there's a flush out, and very often when everyone's bullish, the market makers kind of flush the traders out of the market, and so keep an eye on this one. We recently initiated a position here, and we intend to add if it can break above that middle Bollinger Band around the 46 level. We like this name. Something's happening here, and look at the RSI momentum starting to build a nice solid base, and we think that this one's headed higher soon. Platinum Group Metals, PLG. Another one like Banro, MACDs are starting to move towards a crossover above zero. You have this very nice volume candlestick over the last couple of weeks, and while we're still unquestionably in a downtrend, signs are pointing that this downtrend might be coming to an end over here, and if this breaks higher, and we think over the next couple of weeks it will break above this 50 level, wouldn't be surprised to make a run towards that dollar level, and this is one of those platinum miners I was referencing that look better than the overall junior miner space. Sibanye Gold, another platinum palladium miner based in South Africa. Well, they own a major mine in the US as well now after purchasing Stillwater. This is one that's building this this solid RSI divergence here. So as we've been building, creating kind of this rounding bottom here with lower lows in price, momentum has not confirmed that, and momentum has actually been positive. So Sibanye is one that's got a really tremendous asset here in Stillwater in the US and palladium, and they've got a tremendous amount of platinum assets as well. So if platinum can break out of its downtrend, as we think we believe it's starting to do, this can make a really nice run. Look at how volatile this run was when we ran from $3.81 all the way to $20, back down to $4.27. This is one that can make a move and very quickly. So you draw a trend line over here. I would say basically a break above $5 marks your confirmation that this company wants to head higher. Finally, I wanted to point out Taseko Mines, TGB. Don't know what these guys do, but they're doing something right. It's one of the best performing miners in the space. Definitely the best chart in our on our watch list. Look at this beautiful rounding base, followed by this cup and handle bullish flag pattern here. Broke out of that, retested it from the upside, and we've been up ever since. Now we're flagging again, and we think that this is going to make a move towards 275 in the coming weeks. Guys, thank you for watching. Good luck with your trading. Please do follow us on StockTwits and on Twitter at Moniology. Please subscribe to our videos on YouTube and at Moniology. And we appreciate all your support. Thank you, and have yourself a wonderful week.